All right, says we're live there. Nick, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How about you?
Happy happy day one of children home from school quarantine.
Exactly. You too. How was
Yeah,
your weekend, by the way? Pretty interesting?
pretty interesting.
Yeah,
I think just about everything in life is pretty interesting right now.
absolutely.
Um, hey guys, as you slowly get on this and join this, per usual, Facebook did some sort of thing where it derped out on our video. So if you can hear us, as some people are joining the stream, will you go ahead and leave us a comment? Let us know you can hear us. Let us know that this is working. That would be wonderful. Um, a lot of you are probably having to find this and you're saying, hey, what's going on with the reminder? So, going live on Facebook when you're doing it with a computer like we are is one of the buggiest things that you could ever hope to do. So it always just is messing up. But I like to think that sticks with our overall philosophy of just ship it, right?
That's right, for
Just
sure.
ship it. Break things, sure. It's not always going to be perfect. You never really know. Kimberly's here. She can hear. Thank you for that, Kimberly.
Hey,
Um,
Kimberly, thank you.
yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for letting us know. We'll wait. We'll wait just a few seconds for people to join us and kind of get spun up because, like I said, the notification thing totally just broke. But it says there's 12 of them so far. So just hold on. Let me check one more thing. Shoot. Okay, Taylor, you can just pin the show notes for the thing to the top of the comments anyway, and people can just get the show notes that way. I think is probably the best way to do it. Um, Nick, the thing got pinned to like some weird page, so it's not where it is, which is totally lame.
Okay.
So welcome, Kimberly. Let me see if I can see here. Welcome, Masiek. Someone said that wrong, probably didn't. Welcome, Connie. Thanks for telling us you can hear us. I really appreciate it, guys. As I said, these things are just so buggy. So we had this big announcement. Hey, Bob, nice to see you. He said the past few have been very positive. Well, thanks for that, Bob. We appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Bob.
Trying to be positive in these things, right?
Oh, look who just showed up, Jim. Good to see
There's a
you,
mention.
Jim.
Yep, guys, welcome. We're going to give this just like another few seconds of Nick and I kind of idly chatting until we get into it, so we have enough time for people to join. But as always, hi, Catherine. As always, leave your comments, your questions, because we want to address all of them. We do have some fun stuff that we're going to go over, yeah. And then something happened with our bot, per usual. Something always breaks, and so someone on our staff, Taylor on our staff, is going to go ahead and pin the show notes, which I can show you here. Might as well get into that. So I'll just start getting into some of the introductory stuff, but this is like our fourth or fifth or one of these guys in a row that we've been running. And so one of the ways to deal with all the links that we've decided are it's a Notion doc. And so pinned to the top of the post, right below where you're watching this, it doesn't matter if you're on your mobile phone or if you're on your desktop, you're going to end up seeing a link to this document. We populate this document on the fly as we go, but anything that we mention, any links, and anything that's going to be in there, you can see we started numbering these things and titling them so that, after the fact, we're getting all these people saying like, hey, I missed it. Can you send it? I'm gone. What am I going to do? And we're getting confused. So it's like, okay, you know what? We're giving them numbers and we're giving them titles. This one's Unconventional Marketing Tactics for the Pandemic. So you can get the link. If you want to get notified each time we go live, we think actually the easiest way to probably do that is Messenger. So you can click this notify me in Messenger link, and that'll get you in there. And for those that are contemplating Art Storefronts, want to join Crazy Time Aside, we're getting a lot of saying, hey, how do I request a demo? So there's a link on how to request a demo. And then the table of contents here will populate automatically as we sort of go through. So you can kind of check this out. And these are some of the things that we're gonna address as we go through things. So, okay, a whole bunch of people are jumping on. Connie says thanks. Thanks you, Connie.
Yeah, we should
Thanks,
mention
Todd.
that
Good to see you again.
we're doing a show. Like, this is basically a show that we're committed to doing every Tuesday and every Friday at 2:30 p.m. Central. It's Art Business Consulting. Those ones, I believe those are
set in stone. Set in stone. Yeah.
Set in stone. Yeah, those are set in stone every single week. If there's any reason why we won't do it, we'll let you know. But they are every single week. And
Same time.
Art Storefronts to join on the Zoom call. We drop a link in the Small Wins Facebook group. And that's where we provide one-on-one consulting where we talk to you. It's not just like comments on the thing. Like we talk about your specific business, we talk about your issues, and we help you specifically. So the one tomorrow is for people, we've already done one for people that are just starting out or haven't sold anything online, really. We did our last one was last Tuesday for people who sell well offline, but not online yet. So that was a great one. And all of these are available to you in the marketing resource vault. So if you're an Art Storefronts member and you didn't know about those, they'll probably be on this Notion doc that you just mentioned, this resource doc. We might as well put
Taylor, will you do that? We forgot to do that. Just put a link to the vault. Just put it in the customer only section at the very bottom. I forgot to.
Yeah, or link the last two presentation or Facebook Lives that we did specifically for that, because they're really helpful. So the one that we're doing tomorrow actually is for people that have been selling well. Okay. Now we announced that like about a week ago or a little less than a week ago. And then all of this stuff has kind of come up with the coronavirus and all of that. So it kind of changes the agenda a little bit, but we're just going to stick with it. So we'll stick with the plan and we'll just talk about, we'll just be advising one-on-one to all you guys, whoever comes on, or about what we think you should be doing and your specific business and all that stuff. So we'll just try to stick to the program as much as possible. But I just want to emphasize that every Tuesday and Thursday, this is happening at 2:30 p.m. Central. So
you have it right. No, Box. Tuesday and Friday, didn't we say?
Sorry, Tuesday, Friday. My mistake. Yeah,
Tuesday and Friday. But the plan is to probably almost do this 5 days a week throughout this, because we don't know any way that we can, get everything that we're learning, out to you as quickly as possible as running these. So we might even be running 5 days a week, which is probably why you want to subscribe to get the notifications in Messenger. But we're gonna put them out everywhere we can. We keep getting better at it.
Can I talk about that
side? Go ahead.
Okay. So what I want to tell everybody listening right now, all the Art Storefronts members specifically, is that I want to explain kind of how we view our role right now for you guys. So you guys are members because, partially you wanted the beautiful art gallery website with all the features and functionality, of course. But then the other side is you want the art business consulting and marketing consulting, right? The plan and the advice and the support back and forth. And so right now, this is kind of like, you already have the art marketing calendar, you've already got the normal plan that we have, but right now this is a unique situation that has come up. And so I believe our role, and we're already working on it, is to provide you guys with the strategy, the plan, the information, and everything you need every single day as information comes in, so that you guys are the best equipped people out there, so that whatever is actually working for artists and photographers, you guys know about it first. And so you can all act on it quickly. Because if you remember for the presentation we did on Friday, the live, which was specifically about how the coronavirus is going to impact the art industry, I said one of the most important principles is that, in any type of recessionary type of situation, as an entrepreneur, you need to move quickly, right? You need to execute, you need to move quickly. You don't wait around, right? So a principle for me, for you guys, is I've got the whole team rallied around this. We had a big meeting this morning, the marketing team, and it's all about getting all of the information, not only coming up with our own ideas, but looking at other ideas that are going on out there, and then centralizing all the information that's happening on the platform. Like anyone that's having any success, trying to get everybody to share it in our group. And then we're going to be putting all of this information into I forget the name of it. I'll just call it the pandemic art marketing kit, right? So that's where we're going to put all the information of all the tactics and everything. We're going to update it literally every day as new information comes in. So on that, we're going to tell you what you should be doing with your giveaways if you're in the middle of one right now, or if you want to start one. We're going to have all the unconventional marketing tactics that we know are working right now and that we think you should be doing. We're going to be writing, like providing email copy, romance post copy, anything that we can as it comes up, so that you guys all have the latest stuff. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. but that's the way that we view our role. So all of you guys are going to, have the best marketing support, the best chance at having the most success that you can during this time.
Yep. And Taylor, will you also look in ManyChat? There's a couple of people that are popping in there saying, hey, where's the stream? Where's the stream? Where's the stream? The nature of streaming is super buggy, but I want to get right into it. The presentation aspects of it. And again, for those that are joining late, the document that we're going to be referencing that we always populate on the fly for these guys is pinned to the top of the comments. There should be, it says, what does it say? Oh, here, I can just show you. So if you look there, that last bottom comment, Art Storefronts, here's the show notes for today's stream. You can open that thing. We're going to populate that thing on the fly. And here I'm going to reference from it. And I felt, starting this show out formally, I love to keep calm and carry on. I mean, I think the British just do these things better than just about anybody. And I guess if your country was bombed as hard as it was in World War II, which is where this statement came from, keep calm and carry on is really all you can do. So I don't know about you guys. I mean, obviously the panicky aspects of this are jumping up and down so quickly. And, certain people are really fired up. Certain people are more laid back. For me, keep calm and carry on is literally the thing to stick to and to stay focused on. And I wanted to keep it lighthearted to start at first and, staying on the British theme for a second. So I saw some things, obviously a whole bunch of things are getting shared that are viral right now. And I'm bringing them up to say, being creative under the guise of keep calm and carry on, right? Keep calm and carry on is like, you know what, virus, pound sand, you're not going to ruin my life. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to keep calm. I'm going to carry on. I'm going to do the best that I can, which is really, starting to symbolize why we're running these webinars. It's the best that we can do, right? But I have here one Instagram post that I thought was just incredibly creative, right? And it's like, it's doing this keep calm and carry on thing. And, I realize it's a little disingenuous. I follow English football and I love English football. So I know all about that. So I know who this guy is. I didn't know that his girlfriend was this gal. But anyway, it's a famous couple in England. And this is like this thing that they posted that went like insanely viral. And you could see it, hopefully it's like playing on this screen. And so it's their dance moves. It's in the show notes. You can watch on your own. I won't play the whole thing. But it was their way of being creative and saying, you know what? I might be quarantined and social isolating, but I'm gonna have some fun with it while I'm at it, right? And this thing went massively viral. So there was I guess it helps when you're a pro soccer player and you're dating a famous person, a singer or something, whatever she does. And then this one came after it, which I think is also really funny. And this guy's an English guy that plays on his team, James Milner. And here he is rationing out his tea, okay? And he's organizing it in two separate piles, the tea that he's going to have for this week versus next week or whatever he's doing. And he sent that in response, and that ended up going viral. So the opportunities that I think exist out there, if you are creative, are really pretty strong right now. And a little creativity can go a long way. And if you couch it under the, you know what, I'm going to keep calm, carry on. We're Americans. Pound sand coronavirus. You're not gonna ruin our lives. We're gonna beat you. I like that mindset going into this, and I think a lot of other people will like that mindset too. And there's no reason that we can't stay positive to the best of our abilities as this thing goes on. So, without further ado, I think we start getting into the unconventional marketing tactics. We're finding this to be probably just a really smart thing to be covering during this course of time. Like, what can we advise you guys, number one, that would be an unconventional tactic that you can do in this time to do the best you can to survive and potentially even thrive, number one. So we're polling all of our customers, all of our audience members, getting the conversation going, what's working, what's going well out there, and really trying to come up with some playbooks that everybody can run. And Nick, did you want to say anything about it, just big picture about that approach?
The first thing I want to say is that, I had made a post on Saturday in small wins, if you guys didn't see it. And we have this, we use this tool called Slack to communicate like with each other as a company. And we have our software pipes in, the orders into what's called a channel there. And so we can see like a random distribution of like orders that are happening on the platform, like on artist websites, just to kind of see what's selling. And so I was sitting around on Saturday and I pulled it up, and I was kind of shocked to see how many sales were actually happening on Saturday, because I felt like we were in like peak time of, nobody should be buying anything right now, right? Like, I think if I polled everybody, do you think anybody's buying any art right now? Most people would say no. And that was not the case. So I was scrolling through. If you didn't see it, I would recommend going and taking a look at it. But I was scrolling through and I was showing every piece of art and photography that had sold on Saturday for the most part, and the dollar amounts that they were selling for. And things were selling for $250, $750, you know? And then of course there was stuff at $50, $25, $100 and stuff like that. And the same thing happened on Sunday. And so I think you're totally right. I think the takeaway is you've got to be the creative one, right? You've got to be the one with the unconventional tactics. You've got to be the one with the right tactics online and whatnot in order to be the one getting the sale, because people will buy it if you have the right, you know, the right argument to make, or the, you know, the right marketing approach. So
absolutely. So let's get into the first creative one, and this one is the Mark Hirsch story, which, you know, I think is awesome. Why don't I just read it? It's a little hard to see the post, but we're basically just pulling posts directly out of our Facebook group, and so you can't see them; they're so small. So I brought it up. But check this out for Unconventional. I have an upcoming dental appointment for a procedure that's going to cost $3,000. I explained to my dentist, who I've been with for years, that I make most of my living selling my art at art shows, and that many of my shows are being forced to cancel. I asked if she'd be willing to barter for some or all of the cost of my procedure. She graciously agreed to take half, $1,500 worth of art, cutting my out-of-pocket costs in half. That's a big help for me right now. That would be a big help for absolutely anyone, right? Like, the concept of bartering right now is absolutely insane. I mean, amazing to even think about that.
yeah, totally. I think that's a big lesson to pass across right now. So barter for anything that you can. Look for bartering opportunities, right? If you owe money
Yeah.
someone, your landlord, it doesn't matter where it is, wherever you owe money, see if you can exchange some art for it. Okay. Because remember, your cost is so low on that. It's like making a sale. It's the same thing. So even if you give a person a great deal on something, like you give away 2 pieces where you would normally not do that, like, it's just, look at it as a win. And I think there's actually, before we get into even more of this, I think there's like an overarching theme here that's really important. And it's that for the next, what everybody needs to be thinking about here is there's about it could be 3 months and it could be like 6 months, but there's this 3 to 6 month weird period that we're going to have here in our economy, right? And the unconventional stuff is exactly like, that's what this whole thing is for. Like, you're gonna have to do some probably unconventional things to bring a extra income in that you might not normally have done. And that's perfectly okay. I think that's a really good thing to talk about.
Yeah, totally agree. And any creative ways to come up with it. Cause, like, for me, the keep calm, carry on. Okay. That's a theme underpinning everything right now. The second one is absolutely creativity among the board. I mean, this is an opportunity the likes of which we've never seen. I sort of struggle with using the term opportunity, because you don't want to make light of how terrifying the situation is. But man, this is the first time anybody in our lives has lived through anything like this. And there are going to be some highly unconventional things going on. And if you have a good attitude and you're creative, you're going to be doing much better than some of those that are not. So that's my thought process on that.
Yeah, I totally agree. So what's the next one?
So the next one is from Dennis, and this is an important one too. And that's right, I've got the slide deck. So let me just move back to the PC view. Okay, let's make sure. So he said, Patrick Shanahan, in the discussion last week, you talked about contacting followers on Instagram and offering to give them a free print as a giveaway. Now, that would be on condition that they would post my website on their account. Can you give me a little bit more specific on what you mean? And let's just start with that part of the question, because I want everybody to see how easy this is. And when I say easy, I'm telling you easy. This is incredibly easy. Anybody can do this. So I have Instagram pulled up here on the left-hand side, and I'm going to kind of walk you through what this would look like. But big picture, this is what this technique involves, okay? You find some of these big Instagram accounts that have been, they're basically content curators, and they share content like crazy, right? So let me get my BlueStacks pulled up here so I can work. You can't see the icons at the bottom, but I'm going to search. And you know what? I'm going to stick on the golden retriever mode here for a second, because this is the last example that I gave. But we had a customer who had a hit with his golden retriever piece of artwork, and so that was the example that I use. Let's say your niche was dogs and golden retrievers. And so I'm going to go ahead and search tags here in Instagram. I'm going to type golden, okay? And golden retriever is the first big one. And you notice I'm pulled in here, and it instantaneously gives me top and it gives me recent. And so Instagram here is going to end up pulling a bunch of these accounts that are the huge golden retriever curators. So let's just look at this one, okay? And so this one is golden retriever puppies. I'm going to click into this one. This one has 53,000 followers, 322 posts, all the best dog clips. Don't forget to follow us. And so I see, obviously, this guy has a ton of people following him. Big deal, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click message, right? The message is pulled up here. And let me get back to the Notion doc because I prepared some sample text. So here's the example of some sample text, right? So I would write the person of this account. And obviously this text, I fired this off in 2 seconds, so you could use a version of it if you were so inclined. But it says, hey, first name, I am a big fan of your account. Love what you're sharing. Wanted to pitch you on something. I'm a photographer, and you can see my work here. Obviously, I love golden retrievers. Okay, the pitch. So I was wondering if you wanted to perhaps run a giveaway to your followers in which the prize is a print of my work. You can pick any piece on my site, and I will ship it to the winner at my expense. All that I would ask in return is a link to my Instagram profile. Or alternatively, you can ask for a link right back to your website if you want to do that. But you can just grab this text, and you could even pull it right out of Notion. You could make your own copy however you see fit. Let's go back to Instagram. I'm going to pull this up. And so I'm already in the message thing. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there, and I'm going to click send. And that would literally be it. So here is this account, okay, Golden Retriever Puppies, that has all of these followers, okay? People are wanting to see golden retrievers, let me tell you, during this time especially, right? Like, what better thing to calm people down? So your idea is like, look, you know, this is a terrible time we're in. Give away a print, okay? I will ship it to whoever it is. Maybe that's $30 or $40 shipped, okay? And ask them to share a link back to your Instagram or back to your website. And you can decide to do either one. Now, when they have huge follower accounts like this, you know, they can link out of the Instagram stories. Sometimes they play the link in the bio thing, sometimes they don't. So if they just want to post and they'll say, hey, we'll give you a link to your Instagram profile. Okay, so now you're $40 into this thing. You're going to give them a link to your Instagram profile. You make sure in your bio, this section here, you're talking about some sort of sale that you have, and you have a link to your website, and you go. That's it. It's that simple. It's not any more complicated than that. And there are, you know, like I said in this guy's case, that like if I just wanted to ride the golden retriever hashtag, every one of these accounts at the top, golden retriever owners, 160,000 followers. I mean, you could literally put any niche you wanted in here, and Instagram has this situation going on. Golden's universal, 159,000 followers. I mean, if you don't want to ship to Canada, maybe you wouldn't use this one. It's a Canadian account. But the point is that this is really, really easy to do. It's totally unconventional because almost no one is doing it. And you're just saying to the Instagram account holder, your video is back on next, so just kiss your, you know, picking your nose some. Here is an unconventional way. Send a print away. I'm going to give you the link to my Instagram account. If you link out of the stories, like every time you get the negotiation of them, there'll always be something a little bit different. But all of these people are looking for ways to make their accounts cool, to please their followers, and like a fun giveaway for whatever reason can do so insanely well. It can do amazingly well. Do you have anything you want to add on that one, and then I can take a look at the comments?
Well, I think that, you know, another unconventional approach here, which is going to go into our pandemic art marketing kit for Art Storefronts members, is the idea of doing a promotion. It could be a giveaway as well, right? But doing some sort of a promotion that includes like a donation, and like it doesn't even have to be a discount either. It could be, you know, donating 20% of the proceeds to a charity for the first responders or something of that nature. And I'd given this advice to Kimberly Camerata because she paints like Italy scenes, right? And my thought right now was like, first of all, if there's a good cause that you can do that to, that's a great thing, because people want to support, you know, they want to support the artists and they want to support these causes, you know, so that's a good thing. And then I also believe that the media, which you could actually say they're not part of the media, but these Facebook groups and these influencers, like everybody's looking for content like this to send out, right? So if you actually genuinely have something good to offer that is going to help the world right now, like it's a really good thing. Like you could probably get all these Facebook groups that you were looking at anyway that we've been talking about to get you to share this promotion donation thing. You could probably contact the local media and get covered. And so it could be an amazing time to not only to make some sales. You may just massively increase your list size, right? But like that's a good thing right now. That can resonate. And Kimberly did it, and she messaged back that already she's getting some bites, some interesting bites. And I thought that was awesome. So this is one of those things, like we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna put the steps into the playbook for this. So.
So let's do this, because I see some of the comments are sort of dovetailing with this next one. So let's just get into the next one, and then we can circle back. So this next one, and Taylor, who's works on the team with us and who's helping us out, he's been getting a ton of these into his inbox, and I think they're very interesting because, one, it's a different niche, and so instantaneously it'll just make you think creatively. But it's like, hey everyone, I'm going to be offering myself up to guitar songwriting lessons as well as general music consulting, the business of it, via Skype to supplement lost income. And it says, if you'd like further knowledge while supporting me, hit me up in the DMs. This can also include audio and production-based lessons. This other person is like, I don't need lessons, but would gladly pay for a Skype set of acoustic songs. They're like, hey, I need some music for videos or whatever else, I'd be willing to pay. So you can see already people are starting to come to grips with like, okay, I'm stuck at home. Everyone else is stuck at home. What can I do to make up these shortfalls in income? And one of the comments that we had here from Becca was that she's gonna be teaching classes. Actually, it's in Slack here, so let me just read it. I'm currently writing up 5 art lesson plans that I will video separately. I will give them away for free. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to give away for free and drive traffic to my site. So her idea is a little bit different of a spin on it. But this concept of like what you can do from a remote consulting standpoint, and whether it's teaching art classes as a part of it, or teaching techniques, or giving business advice in short little sessions, like there's going to be a tremendous amount of ways just to interact online here in the short term that I think, very, very easy to get creative and start trying to incorporate some of these things. Like if you're a really good photographer, you can start doing classes where you sell your process and what parts of your process that your editing workflow, your file naming, shooting lessons, gear bag reviews. If you're an artist and you teach, you can do any of the above. You can film yourself live painting, and whether you charge for it or not, these are just unconventional. This is not something most people are doing the rest of the time. That I think would probably work extremely well. I love the unconventional nature.
I do too. I think here's the thing. It's like when a bigger company has a period of time that they have like a cash flow crunch, they need like what's called bridge financing, right? So you need some financing to get you from one point to the other because you see that you're going to have a little gap there. And this is the same type of a thing, right? Like everybody, I think, is going to need potentially some bridge income. So getting unconventional and thinking about how you can utilize your talent to bring in some extra income, I think is the whole name of the game. So like, for example, right? You can paint. Like right now is like, I think normally painters they're like, I want to paint what I want to paint, right? It makes me feel good and such. But like, now's the time to be like, hey, like, can I paint your family? Can I paint your house? You know what I mean? I mean like a picture of your house, right? Can I paint, like, what, can I paint something that you love?
No, that idea is so good. I mean, if you sat there and you got on the neighborhood board, so, okay, now we're going tactical. God, I really like that idea. I have so many older family friends that have like paid a lot of money to have their house painted because they love their house so much, like, an idyllic angle of their house, and then they hang it up somewhere, and, with a little welcome sign underneath it or whatever. You could get on to Nextdoor. Nick, are you familiar with Nextdoor? Do you guys have that where you are? You probably do.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so Nextdoor is like the Facebook of neighborhoods, right? You could get on there and do a post and say, established landscape artist looking to survive and thrive in the COVID-19 quarantine. Does anybody want to have the front of their house or an interesting angle of their house painted? I'm offering a special to pass the time. And you could do this with photography just as easily, right? and just see who responds. I mean, that's a killer hack right there.
I totally agree. I think that like this is where everybody's got to start thinking, right? Like if you're as a photographer too, like we know that with this disease, like being outside or the virus.
No, it's a disease too. Actually, okay. You're good on the nomenclature. It is.
So, being outside is technically like it's okay if I mean, we can sit in our front yards, right? I'm waiting for, by the way, the pickup truck to start to go by with a band playing in the back of the pickup truck. And so everybody's kind of sitting in their front yard because you can't get together, but people could do some interesting things, right? But anyways, a photographer, you could do the same thing as with the open door tactic or whatever. And a photographer could offer like just an insane deal on taking a family photo. Because the families, we're all together anyway. But if we're going to stand in our front yard and you're going to just take the picture from X feet away anyway, it doesn't really matter. Like you might be able to get some people like where you normally charge $500 for something like that. Maybe you charge $249. It's like, hey, 50% off for the first 100 people. Like take your Christmas photo now, or whatever you want. Like take a family photo, and then by the way, with the new upload to print feature, you could offer the prints at cost even to get. Like you could offer one print at cost, maybe. It includes a canvas print. Now, think about this. I just thought of this on the fly, right? Yeah. It includes a stretched canvas print, or maybe it includes a photo paper print, because as I keep saying, your cost on photo paper prints as an Art Storefronts member is so low, and you could give a significant size for, and it doesn't really cost you much. So you can toss it in. So there are some cool things that you can do that people are not used to seeing, like doing that. And I think that when it comes to painting, like there are so many, like the biggest problem that most painters have is that their niche is it's very limited in scope in terms of like the audience that they could potentially sell to. So the job is obviously to find that audience. But in a time like this, I'm sitting here in Austin and I'm like, hey, if you got somebody who wants you to paint them a Longhorn because they went to UT, University of Texas, paint that Longhorn, right? Don't worry about it. Like just paint it, right? If somebody wants you to paint this, go paint it. If they want you to paint the Capitol building, paint it. You see if you could sell a couple of prints to somebody else as well, but just paint it, right? At this time, nobody's going to really care. Like you just gotta do what you gotta do to get by. Find demand. Give a great deal for your talent. You have skills. You can come up with a bunch of different unconventional ways to sell your talent. And you don't have to do it forever. Again, you're not committing to anything long-term, but you do this and you throw some deals out there, people are going to jump on it. And I think I want to make the point that, like I was talking about in our meeting earlier, that I think what you're going to see coming down the pipe here really quick from hotels and travel companies is those guys need revenue, right? And everybody's scared to buy anything right now, to like buy a trip. But what they're going to do is they're going to offer some sort of mark my words, in the next week, 2 weeks, 30 days, they're going to be offering some sort of a gift card product where it's like, hey, like the Four Seasons Hotel or the Marriott hotels or something. It's like, hey, like you may not want a trip yet, but if you buy $3,000, at our hotel or whatever, like we will give you 30% off and you can use it wherever and whenever you want. It lasts, it's good for any time in the next 5 years or something like that. And so that way the revenue can come in. And so I think that, there's ways to, like, if you realize that that's what's going to go on, all you're doing is giving a great deal on something that people would love to normally have that they might not have otherwise bought. And you're getting in front of that.
Yeah, and just bridging the gap, right? Like we're all going to need to come up with some creative ways to bridge the gap.
On that note, like if you're gonna offer something, I think a great idea is to, like, if you're a painter, offer a small original, like one of those really small ones, because I know that a lot of you guys who do the small ones, like you can paint them really, really quickly, right? And it doesn't cost you very much to do that. So you can offer various sizes all the way up and give people an option. So you've essentially got every price point. Right? We talk about that a lot, like having different price points for different people, very important. So you could have a small one that might be like $150 price point, and then you might have a bigger one, like bigger ones that are $1,500 price point or $2,000,
Yeah. Let's pivot to the next one. Well, we got some questions, and
okay.
Lucy says, Let me go do it so we can see it. Lucy says, that's me without a defined niche. I'm an abstract artist, non-representational oil and canvas on panel. Right. So I don't know off the top of my head, Lucy. You gotta get creative in terms of how to map your style. Do you have any ideas on that, Nick?
Well, I'd want to know from Lucy, what else is that all she does? Does she is that all she paints? Can she paint anything else? Has she ever painted anything else? Because I think the mindset that you have to have is you need to go right to the user, to the customer. You got to go right to the customer, to what they're demanding, to what they might want right now. That's very specific to them, and deliver on it. Right? That's how you're going to get money out of their pocket right now. So, so utilize your talent in any way that you can to try to do that.
Jim has in here, I have been bartering photography headshots with the media, radio, TV people for ads for a year now. They're usually very open. Like, that's an interesting thing too. Just, headshots at a discount. If you're a photographer and you're capable of doing that, that probably makes a ton of sense.
Do you know what's so great about this too? This discussion about bartering? Everybody should be doing this all year long anyway. Right?
I know. Yeah, it's just good unconventional lead gen.
So I'll tell you a bartering story. Great bartering story. So I have a painting. I should show it to you guys. I can't get there right now. I'll have to walk through all my kids and just utter mayhem and lose internet connection. But I bartered with an artist like 10 years ago. I gave him a wedding photo, and he's really good at painting like people, right? Uh-huh. So I gave him my wife and my wedding photo, and he painted it. It's gorgeous. It's on the wall in our master bedroom. And I bartered with him for 10 rolls of canvas, 10 rolls of 44-inch canvas from Breathing Color. Yeah. That was barter, right? Which was, the retail on that, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's $1,500 or $1,800 at the time, but we bartered, right? And he was the one who brought it up to me. He brought it up to me. He's like, hey, because he needed canvas to print, to make his own prints at that time. And so he's like, hey, do you want one of these? Like, I'll do it for 10. And I was like, yes, I really want one of these. Like, this is awesome, Yeah. So, I think people should be doing that all the time.
Yeah, no question. It's it's amazing to get the creative juices flowing. Let's pivot now to the next one. And before I forget, Becca, you should just bring up, Becca has some follow-up questions on how she wants to get her videos out. Bring that up on the call tomorrow if you can, or Friday, the Zoom call, and then we can go into depth when we can see your face and everything. Leslie says hi. Let's pivot to the next unconventional one, which is, the fact that the streets are going to be empty, right? The fact that the streets are going to be utterly, totally, and completely empty, which I sort of insane to think about, right? Now, I'm sick and twisted. I will just tell you right now. And, in my mind, I have fantasies of riding my motorcycle at top speed through the local shopping mall, okay? Coming in on one side, riding all the way through it. And then there's like this big, escalator down the back of it. Then you can see the Pacific Ocean. I mean, it would be the most epic picture ever. I would probably end up in jail. But that doesn't change the fact that it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Never is that place going to be completely empty. Never. And so you think about the type of paintings you could create, or the type of photography that you could create,
sure,
and the potential virality of it, right? Or the potential insane social media ability. There is going to be a window of time where people are so insanely confused and what do I do? What's going on? No one's going to know. Okay. And if you operate under it's easier to beg forgiveness than ask permission. Okay. Just walk that line. Think about some of the things that you could do. Think about where you could potentially be doing some painting, or where you could potentially be doing some photography, or forget it if you're someone that just does your stuff in the studio. Get out there and get some incredible photos of you in some incredible places that could potentially go insanely viral and really seriously drive some traffic to your Instagram and your Facebook profiles. And, there are once in a lifetime opportunities. I mean, I sit here and I think about that, and it's like, I could take my family just about anywhere and likely get some photos that would just, it would make the most insane Christmas card ever. Now, again, ideally, we're talking about making sales, but at the same time, the next best thing is to grow your followings, do all your marketing, build your list as much as you can, because this thing's going to end, right? It's going to end at some point.
Right, exactly. So yeah, some of these things might just do that. Other things will get you sales money in your pocket. And I think like I'm sitting here and when I think about like the fact that nobody's downtown, and I went down there on Friday, right? I mentioned this on our Friday presentation. I was there on Friday and I just couldn't believe it. I've never seen downtown Austin so like just there was nobody there, right? It was just empty.
Yep.
And
Yep.
these restaurants that are lined up, you know, on your way down, I'm used to seeing these places like just jamming all the time, like places you just don't even bother going to because they're always so busy, right?
Yep.
And there was nobody in them. There were no cars in the parking lot. So what I thought about though is like what types of photographs you could take, or what type of scenes you might be able to paint and have like, I mean, for lack of a better term, like the coronavirus, like limited edition series where, you know, you took the photographs of your town and what it looked like when nobody's around. And it's like, you could call it March 16th, right? That's today, right? That the day that you took those, and there's some sort of a name about it. And then maybe it turns into a book that that you sell,
Yeah.
or maybe you go on tomorrow and you're like, here's these series. I'm only selling 50 of them and I'm selling them at like half my normal price, and so that, people have because I think that I think the interesting thing here is we are living through history and we all know it, right? This is a historical moment that's going to go down like big time, right? So you want to try to find a positive angle with it, but there's definitely things that you can do that are not normal, right? That you could capture. So I think that that's interesting as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's too many insane opportunities. And, going back to like Nextdoor, I can't help but think of how I would leverage Nextdoor. And we sort of never talked about it. So it's kind of a fascinating thing, but everyone is going to be bored out of their minds, right? So you can drive your car, you just can't get out of your car. So the concept of being able to pair together with another photographer, another artist, and do a drive-through art show on a street somewhere, right? No one gets out of their car.
What a great idea.
No one gets out of their car. You have to look out of your car and just go for it and see what happens, right? Get your mask, set up outside. If you have to make any deals, you can make deals. But a stunt like that, would be pretty interesting. Like, especially if you had, a couple of comrades in arms that you could do it and just say, hey, it's going to be time and time, set everything up on a line, get on one end of it and wave. And, you don't even have to roll your windows down, right? You don't even have to roll your windows down. Like, send me an Instagram DM for purchase info. Like, that's pretty unconventional too. I'm putting that idea in the sheet. I like that one.
Look what Leslie said on here. I love this. She said, Friday's supposed to be 70 degrees. Go paint outside in front of the Met or MoMA or Central Park while it's closed and do videos or take pictures. Like, how great is that?
No, it's once in a lifetime. It's once in a lifetime that you can possibly get into a situation when no one is there.
Yeah, that's great. I like it.
Drive through art show.
Yeah, there's something interesting there. I haven't figured out what it is, but I was thinking about it where, we can't get in crowds, but we can go in our front yard, right? We can't sit on our patios. And so if somebody's going to do a drive-through thing and then it spreads through like open door, like you said, there's some interesting things that could happen. And I bet they're going to start happening.
No, they're definitely going to start happening. And you know what?
In fact, I'm quite excited for it. I need a little change over here.
Yeah, I do too. Side note, Mesiek, I'm not pronouncing. Is that a Polish name? I struggle with the Polish names insanely. Is it Polish? I don't know. Masiek. Let me know if it is Polish because I'm curious whether I got that right. My bike is a KTM 350, but I have like the motard set up for it. So it goes to street bike mode or it goes dirt bike mode. That's what I have right now anyway. I love motorcycles. Guy, that is an extremely interesting example. And again, we're talking local, and I like local, but you can go big picture with any of these ideas too. I mean, I think it really is just what creativity. Keep calm and carry on in creativity. I mean, I think
this. What if you got together with a bunch of Art Storefronts, other members in your community or other artists, doesn't matter. Get as many as you can, right? Get like 10 to 15. And then you message the community through like Open Door or something like that you're going to go to and say from 3 to 4, we're going to come and give you guys an art show. And then you just, you go into that community, you can set up on some easels or something like that, and everybody stands back and then they can come up and walk and see it. Or you do it right in the back of a pickup truck. If somebody's got a pickup truck, right? And you just pop it right out.
Yeah.
People look at it and just go through, see, and just give insane deals for anyone that wants to buy something.
Yeah, Kimberly brought up the story, like, there's been a ton of these videos that have gone viral. It's been everything from singing Katy Perry songs to opera classics to football songs, but all the Italians are getting out on their balconies and singing. Have you seen any of those viral videos?
Yes.
Killer ones. There's that famous song, I think it's called Nessum Dora or Nessum something. Everyone knows it. It's like Pavarotti's jam. And I saw some guys singing that out on the balcony, and like everyone was going nuts. So those are those type of opportunities I think are going to be popping up a bunch. We've got a comment here from Jesse. I'll switch over to the phone view. So he says, considering traveling to some New England towns and cities and photographing them during this, especially Boston, it could be scenes that hopefully we'll never see again. Loving the inspiration and ideas from this video. It's so true. Like it feels really weird to say like there are going to be opportunities. This is a tragedy, right? And it's very scary, but I don't care. There's going to be some opportunities once in our lifetime. I mean, this is you see everyone in the news already saying it. Like, this is without question the most extraordinary time that anyone that's alive right now, for the most part, has lived through, unless you're really, really old, in which case there's some other stuff. But it's just insane to think about. Alana May says, I thought about doing some Facebook Live videos showing kids painting projects using empty toilet paper rolls. See, there it is. That's creative. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, Leslie fixed me up on my lack of opera skills, which is the Nessum Dora model. Yes, nobody to sleep. But fantastically powerful piece of music. So I think.
How about some art that incorporates pieces of these products that remind us of this time, right? Like, it's kind of interesting. Like, I started thinking about like the forgotten, like the Forgotten Man.
Yes.
Like the ones from like the Depression, and they're on the bridge, and some of these different things. Like, there's just going to be some iconic things from this time that we remember, right?
Yeah, there's
like,
no question.
Like the toilet paper and the lines and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane to think about. But again, keep calm, carry on, one day at a time, and let's get creative as humanly possible. I mean, that's what I've gotten in terms of ideas. Do we have anything else on the list that we want to get into?
Does anybody else have any questions? Any direct questions you want to ask about?
Yeah, I can
did we miss anything on here?
I mean, tomorrow we're going to have like our big 3-hour one, so I don't know. Get without the default niche. Yeah, so Sean Thompson says, she's just canceled her vernissage today that was going to hold 2 other artists, so you decided to do a virtual vernissage instead. Do you think you will ever offer images for a gallery that we could use to set up a virtual gallery art show? Yeah, so the virtual gallery art show, let me just tell you, you're on one of them right now. It's a Facebook Live broadcast, or it's an Instagram live broadcast where you're showing everything, you're talking to the artist. At the end of the day, you want distribution. So any virtual anything on your website is going to get 1/10 the amount of traffic, 1/100th the amount of traffic that anything you're going to do live. So if I was you, and again, like, our motto in this time right now especially is just ship it. You got to just ship it. And that means no overthinking it, no over designing it, no psyching yourself out. If there's a button, you hit it and you go. So in the case of a virtual art show, figure out where your space is, set it up. Somebody holds the cell phone, goes live, and starts talking. I mean, that's quite literally all you would need to do. And one person with a phone could walk through that art gallery. And the new iPhone cameras and new Android ones are insane. They're really, really good. They can capture pretty incredible video. So you could do that right away. You've got your virtual gallery going, boom, right, no problem.
Yeah, Philip asked, you mentioned an upload to print feature. Is this new and I missed it? Yes, it's brand new. So you probably didn't miss it because we haven't like fully announced it yet to the public. We only announced it in the Small Wins group. But we showed it in the last video that we did on Friday. We should probably extract that, and just kind of separate that so people can see it.
Yeah. Or why don't you just, good opportunity to do the pitch on it. You can outline it, because we genuinely believe, like more than anything else, fantastic additional revenue source and fantastic little business within the business, that, it's not for everybody, but if you're in that zone where you think like, hey, I want to have as many different revenue sources for my business as possible, this actually seems like a fantastic opportunity, like amazing.
Well, I think also in this time,
yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah,
in this unconventional, bridge time, utilizing anything, the fact that, like I was saying, like, if you find consumers, if you find people and you find out what they want, right? And then you just make it for them, right? Like, they don't want your art, they want a family photo, cool, done, right? Buy a metal print and you'll get a great deal on that. Like, offer anything that you can to your clients, so that if they want something, they get it from you, right? Whether it's a commission, or it's a photograph, or you come and shoot their family in person, right? Or, it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter. Like, if I were like well, I won't go into it. There's many ways to go.
Yeah, don't go into it. Here's what I would say, and my perspective is a little bit different. And like, if you don't know, Nick started and owns a big canvas manufacturing company. I guess you would call it paper canvas fan art manufacturing company, right? And so he's manufacturing all the media for people that print, and he's been doing that for years. And while there are certainly some people out there, okay, that are masters of their domain in print, and printing is an art and a science, and I'm not taking any of that away from any of them, it's also turned into a commodity. It just has. Meaning the big dogs that run those businesses that print can afford to do things at scale and operate at a price where the local guy just can't make it. And so all the local guys have been going out of business, and it's been consolidating into all the big ones. So that's been happening behind the scenes in the industry. Couple that with the fact that the normal consumer, doesn't have any idea what the media types that are even available in today's market, number one. And number two, cannot tell the difference, sometimes even side by side, by that guy who's the best one in the world versus the one that's like a few steps below it. So you add those two things up, and it sort of presents printing, by which I mean getting your family photos, your favorite photos, any photo you really like, printed and on canvas or on metal or on acrylic or on wood. From a consumer side of things, they don't care where it comes from. They just want good service. And so if you have the ability to offer it, all you're doing is you're inserting yourself as the service piece, and you're inserting yourself as the knowledgeable person, and it costs you nothing. It costs you nothing. You don't have to own a printer. You don't ever have to press print. You don't have to refill ink cartridges. You don't have to ship anything. You don't even have to worry about it at all. So all it is, and you can tell I'm jacked up about this, because I actually think for certain people it's going to be a tremendous business. You just position yourself. Hey, I'm an artist. I've been creating these products my entire life, printing my entire life in many cases. I know the ins and outs of this better than anyone. And if you want to lean on that expertise, here I am for you. And to explain the technical side of it, how it works, we give our customers this basically just web page on their site, and it sorts all the back end stuff, everything you can imagine. But the premise is that they can come to your website, they can upload their stuff, they can choose what sizes they want, what medium they want, and it gets shipped directly to the house, and you make some money on it. So that's what it is. You're stopping somebody from having to go drive down to the Costco or to the Sam's Club or to the Walmart and put their order in that way, and they're getting personal service and your recommendations of what the best media is. And I think
and a better product.
Yeah, a better product. But I honestly believe it's like a tremendous business, and I keep using the example of my buddy's wife, who is our local portrait photographer. She does all the kids all the time, like three times a year, including like the Christmas cards, holiday, fall. I can't remember what all of them are, but she picks a location. She books 10 families a day while the light is good, does it for like a week. All these families come in and out, and that's her business. That's her business. She's just trading dollars for hours, right? She doesn't scale. There's no additional revenue model there for her. And what a waste. What a waste. All she would need is a table with samples that says, hey, you can order any of these you want at any point in time of the year, right? And just let me know. So if she did that, her AOV, her average order value per session, and let's say it's $300 now, it would go up to 375 or 450 or 475 or 500 maybe. And then, oh, by the way, every year another Christmas comes along. Every year another birthday comes along. Every year a special event comes along. Every year somebody gets a new house or downgrades or whatever it is. They need more stuff on the wall. And then if you become the resource, here you are, just, you're growing this one pillar of your business throughout the years for not that much work or effort. So I don't know. I really like it. I'm fired up about that one.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple of like really big points on this, and when you take the time to acquire a customer, it costs you money, right? Like it's either your time or hard dollars that you spent to acquire a customer, right? And you're acquiring leads as well. So that is where all of the value is in a business. Okay, like that's where it all is. It's not in the printing anymore, because printing is largely a commodity. I hate to say it, but I mean, I know I just said it, right? And I could tell exactly why I believe that and what's happened in the last 20 years. I'll give you guys the basic point. Everybody's using the exact same printers. Essentially, they're either Epson or they're Canon or they're HP. You can't tell the difference. And so basically, you have media types that range from really high quality, like Ferrari, all the way down to the very, very bottom, and the very, very bottom ones, like they will probably have problems in 2 to 3 years, especially if you put them in direct sunlight. And direct sunlight is not like an outdoor piece. I mean, like I've seen these things turn yellow, like from like Costco or any of those types of places, when it's hanging on a wall, and just like when the sun is setting, it just gets hit across the lower like right-hand corner, right? And then all of a sudden that lower right-hand corner is like yellower than the rest of the print. And it's terrible, if you have like lighter colors or whites in the print. But you have to appreciate how hard it is to acquire a customer. And you guys all have customers. That's all. You're going to be acquiring more customers. And what is true about every one of those customers? They have their own homes and they have family photos in their homes. Because why? Everybody does. Every single person does, right? Yep. So what's amazing is that every single one of these customers is already a customer for family photos, more than likely, right? Like family photo prints. And so you have an ability to get more revenue from those customers without having to acquire a new customer. And this is a saying, like, as businesses grow, as like regular businesses grow, the way that you want to grow your revenue is to go broader and deeper in your product line. Okay. And this is an example of doing that, because, once you have your customer base, if you can figure out how to sell them more in different types of products, that's how a company can really, really grow and get big. And so, doing things like, you buy a piece of art and you get 25% off on a family photo print, or I throw in a 24x36 photo paper print of your choice, of your family.
All day.
Anywhere you are, especially during this unconventional time, I would be promoting that anywhere. Like, hey, you want me to make a print? You want me to make a commission of your house or your family photo? Or do you want to just upload, like, do you want to just buy a print of your family at this time and get 30% off or 20% off, on canvas or metal? Like, It doesn't matter. Give all the options and let them choose.
Yeah, that's right. I haven't even thought through that. Like, just the upselling potential, of all of that on the back end. But I would also say to echo what Nick said about, the acquiring customer situation. And in startup land, there's this guy, Kevin Kelly, that wrote, and this was maybe 10 years ago now or so, that wrote this thing about 1,000 true fans. And Taylor, will you Google that, find that, put it in the show notes? And his contention was essentially is, with the way that the internet is right now, that anybody that can come up with 1,000 fans that are following what they're doing can make 6 figures a year. Loosely. It's been a while since I've read it, but that is loosely it. Since then, somebody wrote a piece, 1,000 true fans, try 100.
Exactly.
And his point was that the world has changed since then, and what's changed is to become even more difficult to acquire a customer. It's the hardest thing to do, period. And every single solitary business makes it or breaks it on whether or not they can acquire a customer. So when you acquire a customer, that's the work and effort that you put in there is so tough. If there's something else that you can sell them while they're there, that's a big deal. That has a potential to double your business, right? So it becomes even more punctuated I think it just sort of in this climate and how distracted we are now, right? Like it's just an even bigger thing.
I also think that, you know, I mean, I see this so clearly. I don't even know how to explain it, you know, but if you're like, let's say you're a photographer and you sell limited editions and your price point is like $1,000 to $2,000, right?
Yeah.
I firmly believe that, you know, even with that customer base, you could sell the family photos, because what you want to do is actually do, you want to use the Ferrari media types, right? Because these are archival. They last 100 years without fading, some of them 200 years, right? Archival ink, archival media, the top of the top, everything, right? Because it keeps that clientele. That clientele does not want a cheap print in their house, period. They would love to buy the same thing. If they bought a piece from you, they would love to buy another print from you, you know, of their family photo on the same type of quality of material, so that it's consistent in their house, right? Those people are not shopping at Costco for prints. Let me just say that outright. They're not going to Shutterfly. They're not going to anything like that. So whether you're selling at this price point or, you know, down at a lower price point, you can offer something all the way through. You just have to present it and market it the right way.
Additional revenue sources, man, we're going to need them. It's scary. It's scary in that regard. Let me see what else we have in terms of questions. Otherwise.
Oh, we do. Somebody asked here, I just saw Lucy, please post the upload to print setup tutorial. Yes, we have that. Can we make sure, Taylor, that we include
It's already there. It's already there. Okay, they're already on it.
Yeah, there's a whole step-by-step in there. It's really easy.
But yeah, it looks like that's it. Guys, if you have any other questions, anything else you want us to address while we're on this one, feel free to
said, I get people in my gallery all the time who want their iPhone pics printed.
Yep, there you go. Waste of time doing that on this big 16-inch printer, right?
By the way, like we've seen that all the time. I've talked to just a ton of our Art Storefronts members, and they hear the same thing. So that's why we released that feature.
Yeah, which is a huge one. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that's it. We can wait a minute for any more calls. But again, we have a huge call tomorrow, which is the big group one where everyone gets on. And we had a couple people chiming in, but let me get done with the audience stuff. If you've not liked the Facebook page, definitely encourage you to do that. Sometimes with these Facebook Lives, the easiest way to get notified is if you like the page, it like pops a little box in the corner. So it makes it way easier. So I know a lot of you are customers, and a lot of you have been following us for a while, but you might not like the Facebook page. I usually don't like Facebook pages, so I get that. But it makes it really easy to stay up to date, because we are going to be just going rapid fire on these lives. We think they offer a tremendous arbitrage right now to get attention at a time when more people presumably are going to be online than at any other time in our lifetimes. And that's sort of like a profundity that just needs to be said again. When you realize people are not driving anywhere, they're largely all home. There's no sporting events on. There's no events to go to, period. No one's flying anywhere. And what are you going to do at that time? I would love to think the whole world is going to read, but let's be honest, everyone is going to be on the internet. So it really is just crazy. It's crazy to think about what's coming. Okay, so Leslie's saying next door. I got it. Yep. And she wrote some copy here. Yeah. I mean, you could even do the virus family portrait, right? And you could make total light of it and total fun of it. But if you want to I would actually want a memorable family portrait of this time, wouldn't you?
I sort of agree with you.
If nothing else, like just in posterity to be able to tell it, because we're going to be talking about this one for the rest of our lives. I mean, it's insane.
We are. And there's an interesting thing there to that,
Yeah, I think that's a really good one. So we'll look at it, and Leslie, we can talk more about the next door thing if you want to get on the call tomorrow too. I think we can really get into some of the more hardcore tactical, but I'm telling you, like that next door app is actually a big deal for neighborhoods, right? And there's no easier way to kind of laser in and target a neighborhood. It's just it's amazing that way. Like where I live, it's coyotes. Like everyone, I mean, it's their natural habitat, right? But these coyotes are running through the neighborhood. Every once in a while, they get a cat. Every once in a while, somebody sees one walking on the fence, and my neighborhood goes absolutely bonkers about these things. The amount of posts on that thing about coyotes is like sensational. So there's some really wacky stuff on the next door too. But in terms of rousing and getting the attention of a neighborhood, I don't know of any more effective way to do it. Even with my Facebook ads trickery, I don't think it would be as effective as setting that neighborhood app. So good one to know about. You can join it for free, enter in your neighborhood, start reading what people are putting on there, and then kind of just take it from there. Super, super interesting. But again, Nick, what's our schedule for Facebook Lives the rest of the week?
So every Tuesday and Thursday, set in stone at 2:30 Central.
12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern.
Exactly. And then we're probably going to be going live impromptu every day, every weekday, potentially on and off here, as we have topics to discuss and new information comes in. And then for the Art Storefronts members, make sure you check out this pandemic art marketing kit, where we are going to be updating it daily with the best marketing tactics and the best strategies and unconventional things. That will be in the marketing resource vault for you. And then also, we are just trying to aggregate the discussion in the Small Wins Facebook group on anything that is working for any of you out there. So if you did some social media posts, you went live, you did anything that worked right now, we're trying to all, share that information and then deconstruct it and help everybody in our community.
That's right. Keep calm, carry on, stay creative, and
stay creative, stay unconventional. Do it quickly too. As I say, do it quickly. Get these things out there, get ahead of it.
Yeah.
You'll be the first one. It's kind of like, I kind of look at it like Black Friday, right? Like, part of our tactical is you want to do a pre-Black Friday sale because you take demand out of the market before everybody else does. And then all of a sudden nobody's buying any more art because they bought it already. Right. And our customers are the ones that got the sales. And so it's, the further people are going to figure all this stuff out eventually in every industry and every business. So, the sooner that you get on it, the better. Right. So I would try everything. And Kimberly asked on here, should I start promoting the upload to print? Absolutely. Just try something, try to run a special, like upload your thing and, just give whatever type of a special you can. Grab your favorite family photo or take a family photo, at this time to remember this time you're spending with your family. I'm running a sale right now to allow you to get, this and that, maybe you do a 2-for-1 on canvas prints. I don't know. You'll have to look at the profit margins and what you can do, but do something. You can't do anything wrong right now, right? Just find the demand. And while you're at it, the next day you offer like, hey, is there any pictures you want to get a commission done? I've got 3 sizes. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to get a great deal on a commission, things like that.
Yep, absolutely. And it's going to be a busy week of streams. So I'm certainly looking forward to it. Any questions you guys have, we'll always be answering them. Remember, the show notes are pinned. They're live generated. It's got all of the latest stuff, all the latest links. This is going to be the new format going forward. So you'll want to get them each and every time so that you'll have access to everything. And on that note, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.